Politicos begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome. My name is John Miller and this is Politicos. Before I let you know what the topic today is, first let's check out interesting tweets. Welcome back. So our topic today, remember this is episode number 10. So our topic today is going to be 5 things Kenyans hope for Kenya. And I'm going to do a compilation of these things in part 1, possibly part 2, and possibly part 3. So remember, leave a comment. The discussion does not have to end with me. I want to hear what you have to say, and especially on this particular topic, I want to hear what do you hope for Kenya. Let's move on to our first point. On my first point, I'm going to say security. Every Kenyan wants to feel safe. Every Kenyan wants to feel secure in their home, in their workplace, at school. Every Kenyan wants this. So this is my first point. Let's get rid of pickpocketers. Let's get rid of kidnappings. Let's get rid of burglary and home breakings. Because if we end all this, then Kenyans can have that peace of mind to be able to build even this country and to do their part to build this country. This is one thing that Kenyans hope for. They want to feel safe, they want to feel secure wherever they are, no matter the time it may be. Whether it's at night, whether it's in the morning, whether they are walking in the streets, whether they are walking alone in an alley, everybody wants to feel secure. And we can get there as a country. We can get to a point where you don't feel like you always have to watch after your back, or you always have to walk in groups so that you can feel secure. So this is one of the things that I know for sure Kenyans hope for. The other thing Kenyans hope for and hope for Kenya is that there can be an end to corruption in this country. We all know how corruption has affected this country. We all know how corruption has gotten to an extent where it's in every place. It's in the public sector, it's in the private sector, and this is affecting our economy, it's affecting our country. And so if we got rid of corruption and we got to an end to corruption, or we ended corruption, then this is one of the things that would make our country thrive even more. This is one of the things that would make our country flourish even more. And this is one thing Kenyans hope for Kenya. To get to a point they don't have to feel like they have to bribe the police. To get to a point where fines are implemented in place of bribes. Because this is one way we can get away from, police bribes, which is almost the most common form of corruption in this country, bribing the police. And so if we can get rid of that and start from that point to a point where they implement fines in a more effective way, then this is going to be the start to end of corruption. But this is one thing that Kenyans do hope for this country, that corruption can come to an end in this country. So on my third point, some people may argue that this point is a similar one to the one that I've just said. But I think this is different, and I've chosen to present it as its own point. And this point is stealing of public funds or theft of public funds. This is something we need to bring to an end, because public funds are collected through taxes, through the taxpayers' money, through us as individuals. We are paying tax to the government so that the government can use that public fund, that pool of resources, to be able to provide and develop this country. Remember, we're still in the developing world. We're still a developing country. So if we got to a point, and this is one thing I know for sure that Kenyans hope for, that there is no theft of public funds, and that theft of public funds is taken seriously, and that we do not hear every time we look at the news, and every time we follow up on the news, you hear that some money has been stolen somewhere, or some procurement crime has happened through government offices or in state offices, and even down to the county offices. Then we need to get to a point where we take theft of public funds seriously, because this is one thing that we need to get rid of. Because the minute we stop allowing people and we close all these gaps where people are able to siphon money from public coffers, then we are able to get to a point where as a country we are able to utilize every bit or every coin that is collected from taxes, every coin that is collected from any venture that the country and the government does, so that it can create that pool of public resources. And so this is one thing that I, as a Kenyan personally, I hope to see this come to an end: theft of public funds. The other point is that we need to get to a point where we jail and prosecute and sentence big time criminals in this country. There are the people who are getting away with different crimes, with big cases, and that they are not prosecuted at the end of the day. So these are the people that need to be jailed. We need to send a clear message to anyone out there who thinks they can get away with whatever it is they do and the criminal activities that they do. This country has to get to a point where it's serious about jailing and opening cases and prosecuting and sentencing people who are found of wrongdoing, and especially the big time criminals who always seem to get away with these crimes. And my fifth point is that we need to get to a point where we have a decent police service in this country. And this is something that Kenyans will agree with me. Because if we had a decent police service, it means the police are not used by politicians to run their criminal activities. It means the police do not work together with criminals in the society to do the wrong thing. It means that the police service is able to do investigations that end up with prosecution and sentencing of the wrongdoers. And so we need a decent police service with integrity, a decent police service that is able to govern this country and is able to protect everyone, not just the rich. It's able to protect even the poor, those who do not have, those who are disadvantaged in our society. We need a decent police service that understands the society, that understands people, that is friendly. A decent police service. We need a decent police service if we need this country to move forward. That last point brings me to the end of this particular episode. Remember, this is going to be part 1. I am going to do a part 2 and possibly a part 3. So you're going to, so stick around for that. Remember, the discussion does not have to end with me. And especially in this topic, I want to hear what you have to say. This has been episode 10, and now I want to leave with bold statements of the week.